All right, welcome everybody to the IWM Broadcast Network. And tonight, it's Thursday night. That means only one thing. We are bringing to you the iNRS Racing Series. And tonight, we are at Dover International Speedway in Dover, Delaware for the Wurth 200. I'm Rick Souza here with my partner, John DeRudris, here in the booth. And John, this is a fabulous track. We were lucky enough to be here last night for the Tech for Troops Series. I love Dover.
Oh yeah, it's one of my favorite tracks. Got a Dover doubleheader here. DDH on the IWM Broadcast Network. And last night, we saw a great battle form up, and we saw a lovely, lovely racing. Only a few cautions there in that race. And, last night was a cloudy, overcast day. But today here on the iNRS Series, it's nice and bright outside. So the track is going to be a little bit hotter in the Wurth 200 here with the iNRS Series. So, we'll see what these guys can do here today at this lovely track. 200 laps with a stage break. I believe that says lap 66. With one quick repair, 5 sets of tires, 60% fuel, and 3 green-white checkers. Track temp is at 114 degrees. So it's definitely much hotter than it was last night when we were here at Dover. And Rick, last night we saw a fuel run. Really, you could stretch it to about 50 to 52 laps with 60% fuel. I expect that to increase roughly to about 56, 57 laps on a tank of gas, maybe pushing 60 here. So 55 to 60 is what I estimate here in the Wurth 200% by iNRS and admin box. But looking at where we are in the midst of the season. We have a previous winner, Jeremy Briggs. He's a former member of the iNRS Series. He is the reigning champion of this race. But, talking about points and who could be the champion, let's look at our top 10 in the point standings. Jordan Booth has he has broadened and increased his lead up to 52 points ahead of Jordan Wenzel, followed by Matt Robinson in third. Travis Bennett up 3 spots to 4th place in the standings. Tyler Lemon 5th. Eric Jeffers in 6th. Alex Murphy in 7th. Nick Alves in 8th. Simon Magin in 9th and Brendan Hayes in 10th. And like I said before, Jordan Wenzel was absent last week, and Jordan Booth opened up that lead to a full 2-race advantage currently, with 50 points being the max you can earn in one race. And right now, the battle for the cut line still sits at 2 points between the number 19 of Alex Forget-Berube and the 94 of Michael Whitley. So definitely the battle's heating up there as 40 XLI reclaims the team standings there in first, with Full Throttle Motorsport in second. And Apex Motorsports in third. So, Rick, let's talk about, like we do every week, who's hot right now?
Yeah, right now the tale of the two Jordans, really. This week it was Booth. He certainly comes into the week with back-to-back top 2 finishes and looks to remain strong at Dover. You can see he's up at the top of the current standings through practice. Additionally, Matt Robinson is showing well. He's not quite making some headway so far in laps turned so far, but hey, this is just practice. But he has been super solid for the past weeks. 5 straight top 10 finishes. He is really Mr. Consistency throughout the past month or so. Another driver that's been streaky, and we've seen this as we've been covering him, Travis Bennett in the 01 has finished top 10 4 out of the last 5 weeks, and he is searching for his second win of the season. Now, we've put up here on the, we've got the Cup Series playoffs, so you can see those drivers in red. Those guys have already locked in their position, so already out of the 16 slots, 50%, 8 slots have already been baked in because those are winners so far. And again, 2 wins with Booth, 2 wins with Wenzel. Everybody else has single wins, but certainly those drivers, those 8 drivers, we potentially will see them again at the in winner's circle. Again, as you mentioned, Alex Forget-Berube and Michael Whitley are battling at the cut line. There's only 16 slots for the playoffs.
And looking back at some of these drivers who are, need to get a good performance in. One of those drivers is the 77 to Corey Bunch. with finishes of 34th, did not even start, and a 26th since his win at Richmond. The number 77 has had a rough couple weeks here in the iNRS series. Look for that to change at Dover, though. And another driver who had a great run at Richmond, who's finding himself in the same boat, is the 27 of Cody Graham. He finished 4th at Richmond, but since has had a finishes of 27th, didn't even start, and then 20th. So can the 27, right this ship and start rattling off some wins and maybe, lock himself a little bit further into the playoffs? So looking at Dover, there's always some drivers who typically perform well here. The 12 of Eric Jeffers had this race all but won last year until a late caution split strategies. And he had to pit while others could save enough. And, he's our Xfinity winner from last night. And look for him to be up at the front here. And looking at some rivalries, nothing really forming right now, but I think Dover could produce some things, with what this track can do to tires as well as sliding off the corner. You may get into somebody when you don't mean to and start a little bit of a controversy there. So we'll see what happens as it looks like everybody is making their way onto the track for qualifying. Taking a look at Martin Giroux.
Yeah, there's been a serious lack of hate for the last couple weeks.
Well, the Monster Mile will bring some of that out. It'll bring out the monster in everybody.
That's right. All right, the last thing we definitely want to cover, and we can cover this probably as we get. So how this works here is that we're watching qualifying. Every driver has a couple of laps to make their best time around Dover with this track. This is a second lap is going to be your best lap kind of qualifying. Let's try to get some information from telemetry here. We can see what's happening, get some best times posted. You can see right there that Eric Jeffers, as we were talking about, Eric has kind of vaulted himself up to the top of the running order. So
really cool to see. There's Matt Piercini there in that lovely DuPont 24. He's been looking to get his first win of the season.
See Simon Magin also on the track.
And looking at the top of the board, looks like Alex Murphy is there right now with a 23 5 6 7 8 tenths faster than Ty Bostic. I think Ty could be a great pick to win tonight because he had that I believe he raced last night too, didn't he? He was in the Cup Series race at Detective Troops.
Absolutely, yep. So he's got a lot of laps logged at this track. So
yeah, it'll be 400 by the end of the night. So hopefully 400 there. So we'll see what happens. Corey Bunch back up to the top of the board here with a 23.513 with Alex Forget-Berube there in P2.
Yep, just trying to find a couple of drivers who may still be on the track. Corey is finishing his run. Jonathan Vernaskis is still on, completing it, but most drivers have already qualified. Austin Walton, we can pop over to Austin, see how he is doing right now. I think he's punched a lap fully yet. Yep, okay, he's finishing up. There's 5 minutes allocated for qualifying. This league, these drivers typically jump in and get it done. We're wrapping up qualifying at this point. That's Cody Graham there. I think that we're just got the last bit of the last lap for Vernaskis finishing up. He's currently sitting in 6th with that 23.604. You can see even the top 10 are only separated by just over 2 tenths. Another one of our Canadian drivers. We have a significant contingent of Canadian drivers.
Gotta love that.
All right, he finishes up, and he will finish in solidly in 6th. But interestingly enough, look who is at the top of our poll. Right now, it looks like Corey Bunch has secured the pole for tonight's race. All right, I think that'll wrap up qualifying. Then here we'll go into a 5-minute admin window, and which is just about starting now. And we'll wait for that to finish up, and that will bring you the running order. While the drivers are in their drivers meeting and speaking with the admin, let's talk a little bit about this Bristol-esque track here.
Absolutely. This track is a concrete surface. It's one of the concrete surfaces we go to here, not only on the NASCAR schedule, but on the iNRS schedule. And it's a fun track to go to, Rick. I mean, I enjoy this track a lot. And like you said before, it's a fun surface to drive because turn 1 and turn 2, you got to set yourself up, because if you don't, turn 3 and turn 4, you will completely ruin those corners as well. So it's a rhythm track, and that's what I love about rhythm tracks, is that you really got to set yourself up for success. And so I'm very curious to see what these guys are going to do tonight here with the much warmer conditions than we saw last night. We saw some sliding around, but I mean, I think it's going to be a little bit slicker today too with these hot temps.
Oh, I completely agree. On top of the fact that, it is a concrete surface, so it's not quite the cheese grater as other tracks, but you'll definitely see some fall off. And with the added temperature, we expect to see that sooner rather than later. But another big factor within the iNASCAR Racing series is that they have kicked off. This is the first night of their 5-week 32 driver bracket racing. Let's bring up that bracket graphic. Let's see that. And so how this is Savers each week, and for the first week, and they're paired head to head with another driver, and how you finish will determine if you advanced to the next race and the next level of the bracket, culminating in 5 weeks from today in a battle for that winner, and that winner will get $50. So definitely a cash to battle for, and really that playoff bracket is about just being consistent.
Yep, consistency is going to be the key, and you have to make sure you set up, like I said, turn 1 and turn 2, so you can get a good run in turn 3 and turn 4. And building that rhythm is and saving tires while doing that is the mix here. So I'm excited to see what happens here tonight. We saw a great race last night. Let's hope this one here at Dover.
Well, why don't we cover your keys to tonight's race?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it while we're waiting for these for the series to get underway and to get everything going. So at Dover, there's a couple things that I particularly look at. One of those things is corner exit. That's my number one key. You have to make sure you don't burn up the right sides on corner exit. It's so easy to slide. It's so easy to want to hammer off the corner and get loose, and you can correct it a little bit, slide through. You're just going to kill your right side tires. So you have to make sure you put that your tires. That's number 2. You have to preserve. I am a big fan of preserving tires at Dover, mainly because of the fact that you are looking at a track that is, somewhat older. And also, it's going to be to your best advantage to preserve them for as long as you can. On the longer runs, that's when we start to see a second plus fall off. So tires are crucial. And then pit road strategy. We saw, mixed strategies last night in the Tech for Troop Cup race. You have to make sure that your pit road strategy, you're not losing exponential amounts of time between somebody on new tires versus somebody on old tires, or vice versa. You on new tires, they're on old tires. So, those 3 things, corner exit tires and pit road strategy, are my 3 keys to mastering this monster mile here. And I'm very curious because track position is also very, very important here. You definitely need to start up at the front because it is a little bit of a tough place to pass. So I would add that as my fourth key if I had to. But looking at the field, I mean, there's a lot of big names up at the front that, could possibly get a win. We're about to give that lineup here in a minute, but I'm very curious to see how this race is going to go from a caution perspective.
Well, a couple of things from my perspective. What we saw last night was a number of drivers caught some black flags, being penalized for speeding on pit road. We'll watch for that tonight. It's a 35 mile per hour pit road speed, which kind of is shocking as you drop off of 3 and try to make your way down onto pit road. The other thing that we'll be looking at is it's only a mile. We find drivers will separate themselves and do very, very well. Others will struggle, which means you'll have lap traffic effect happening within the leaders relatively quickly. So, all right, let's looks like we've got the grid is available. Let's bring up that grid.
All righty, here is your starting lineup for tonight's Wurth 200 in the iNRS series. On pole, you have Corey Bunch out of Full Throttle Motorsports with Alex Forget-Berube starting in P2. Alex Murphy in third, Ty Bostic in fourth. Jordan Wenzel starts in fifth with Jonathan Varanauskis there in sixth. Eric Jeffers in seventh, Brendan Hayes in eighth. Matt Pericini in ninth, and Simon Magden there in P10.
In 11th, Jordan Booth. 12, Vernon Broadbeck in 13th, Tyler Lem. 14th, Jacob Musso. Tony Japson, 15th. Richard Mills in 16th. Garrett Walden is in 17th. Corey Ennis to the outside in 18th. Austin Walton in 19th. And Vince Burns in 20th.
In 21st, you have Alberto Abar with Michael Whitley Jr. to his outside in 22nd. 23rd, Martin Giroux, and 24th, Joe Musso there in the 28 GKM Racing car. In 25th, James Jones with Michael Wheel to his outside in 26th. Cody Graham in 27th. Scott Thomas in 28th. Ron Fitting in 29th. And Matthew Robinson there in 30th.
In 31st, Clark Franz, Tyler Sexton in 32nd. John Krupa 33rd. Travis Bennett 34th. And Martin Pinnell is in 35th.
Yeah, Travis Bennett didn't put up a time. That's going to be a challenge. That's going to be a big challenge for that 01 to get back up to the front. He can do it, but it's going to be a big, big challenge here when you need track position at this racetrack.
All right, we should see them. Now, the Geico restart zone's a little bit farther back, so pretty much once that pace car drops off, it won't be much to getting that green flag.
Right, exactly. All right, here we go. The iNRS series at Dover is about to be underway. Green flag in the air here, and we are off at Dover as the field dives down into turn 1, side by side, 2x2.
We're seeing a lot of already spots being exchanged here as drivers begin to try and find their lane around this 1 mile concrete track.
And Rick, let me ask you this. Would you consider Dover a short track?
Oh, I think it's every much a short track. It's kind of a weird hybrid, but similar to Bristol. You know, although Bristol is half the distance, it has such a similar feel to it. It kind of feels like a short track. There's a lot of door-to-door bumping, but the banking is there, and a lot of speed gets developed, but it happens so fast.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're running 23-second lap times right now, which is pretty quick. Pretty quick. So, yeah, I agree. It's like a hybrid mix between a short track and an intermediate style 1.5 miles. Oh, car on the wall there.
Yeah, I think that was the 40 of Brandon Hayes, who may have brushed the... No, I take that back. That was Jordan Booth who tagged that wall. There's a little bit different paint scheme with those 40 XLI guys. Some are in the all purple. Jordan sporting a large white feature on that paint scheme. Back up front, Corey Bunch. A little contact with Alex Forget in the safer barrier there. We saw that last night too. A number of drivers crossed that finish line with that right side. Do you think they were at Darlington?
Really, exactly.
So already we're just 6 laps in, and that field's pretty spread out. Keep an eye on it. But this is one of those tracks, and we talked to a number of drivers last night, where it really comes down to the driver. Do you like the track you're driving on? Because if you because you've got to really, you gotta feel this track. It's not just stick your foot in the floorboards and go. You gotta definitely know when to back off and massage that throttle as you get around here, because it is so easy to come off of 4 and just loop it around.
Massage the throttle. That's a new one.
There you go.
I haven't heard that yet. Maybe I have. I don't remember. But that's a good way to put it, because rhythm tracks, you have to make sure you are not just obliterating the throttle, because you have at least I know all the drivers that I've spoken to, we all have a tendency to just want to power off. Power off the corner as fast as we can. And so powering off the corner is one of the toughest things that you got to control, because you'll burn up your tires. Taking a look at Ty Bostic right here, he's still 150 miles an hour through the corner.
Super consistent out of 4. You can see as he gets to the point in which he backs off the throttle to over 170 miles an hour, kind of coasting through 1, back on the throttle at the apex of 2. Not too much, just enough. Go over that walkway, right about that shadow on this sunny day. You can see that's about there where you kind of back up out of the throttle, and then again working back in out of 4. And you can see, just as we ride along with Ty, that there are some undulations in this track. You come up the hill on the back stretch, and you'll see as you cross under that Ally overpass, you drop down into a little bit of a dip there, and you climb back up as you come across the start-finish line.
Yep, you sure do.
All right, 13 laps are in the books here at the iNRS Wurth 200 in Dover, Delaware. We thank you for tuning in to the IWM broadcast network of the iNRS. Corey Bunch continues to lead the way.
He does, and he's doing a great job out front. He seems to be making sure that his car is in the position it needs to be, and he's not he's not overdoing it. It's so easy to, when you're in the lead, like, oh, I'm going to try to build as big of a gap as I can. Well, if you don't need to do that, don't do that. You can make a decent lead and save tires as well at the same time, and he's doing a great job.
With 35 cars currently on the lead lap, you can see even the top 20, we are got an 8-second gap between our leader, Corey Bunch, and Cody Graham running in 20th. So, it's easy. You can tell there's drivers who, again, love this track, and others who are still struggling to find the best line for them. That being said, there are 200 laps, so lots of time to find your way. In the past, and even last night, we've had long sessions of good green flag runs, so we'll do our best to kind of bring you some drivers who are in battles throughout the field. But right now, it's pretty much just guys running nose and tail. I think Cody Graham is right now, he's one of the hotter movers. He has moved up 7 spots, as well as Travis Bennett, who started further in the back. I think he started at the back of the pack. He is now up 9 spots to 20.
Wow. that's something I was curious about, is how Travis Bennett was going to perform here, because of the fact he was so far in the back of the field. But, green flag runs is what he needs. He needs to be up there battling for position. So I'm curious to see if he keeps on going, how soon he's going to get to the front, because he's one of the fastest cars on the track right now.
Right now, kind of taking a look back towards the tail end of the field, there's lots of battles going on here, and frankly, you're going to see a lot of guys trying to move up. This is a hard hit. In fact, we're seeing Scott Thomas, who just wound up in the wall.
In the wall, for sure.
Close battle. I think that's Ron Fitting right there in the 3, battling in 30th. But we missed a pass for the lead. That's Alex Forget-Berube getting around every bunch. We need to find that pass.
Yeah, we do. That skipped right over us.
Looks like Corey Bunch may have slipped a little.
Yeah, took advantage.
Yeah.
Yep, he took advantage of that, which is great. Fantastic driving. That's another way to make a pass here. If somebody makes a mistake, go ahead and, get around them. Good move.
All right, Alex Forget-Berube now is your leader. Corey Bunch is in second. You can bring up that graphic. Let's bring up the top 15 for tonight. And we'll do our best to update you.
Looking currently at where some of these drivers are. Travis Bennett now up 11 spots there and gaining, currently running faster times than the leader. So, watch out for Travis Bennett. Another big mover is the 27 of Cody Graham, up 8 spots. But let's talk about the flip side about this. There's big movers and big losers. James Jones -10, Garrett Walden -8. Some of the biggest losers here is Travis Bennett is now up 13 spots on a tear.
Travis Bennett now up to 21st. And he has got a bunch. Oh, cars right in front wrecking. That's the 7 of A-Bar.
They're wrecking. They're up against the wall. They're going to come back down. Oh, that was close. Stay up there. Stay up there. He held the brakes.
Kind of hard to hold the brakes on this track, but looks like people got around him. I think we caught that one live again.
Wow, we're getting too good at that.
Well, all right, so our first caution of the night here happens here on lap 26. Little incident with Mr. Alberto A-Bar. Let's go and take a peek at that incident.
A lot of cars right there at turn 3 or turn 2. Oh, 7 just came right up into the.
That's the 42 of
car.
Tony Japs. Yeah. 27 is Graham trapped behind him. Looks like actually 01 making it around. All right, there we go. And now, as we anticipated, we got pretty much the entire field coming down onto pit road. Now, we have a stage break happening at lap 66. So this is probably pretty good timing for these guys to battle to the stage break.
Sure.
Yeah, we saw last night pretty much almost all four tire stops.
Yeah, it'll definitely be 4.
Well, you say that, and we just saw Jordan Wenzel go fuel only.
Wow. I mean, I don't mind it, primarily because I did mention track position was very important here, but that's gutsy. 28 laps. You know, I mean, that's pretty gutsy there for fuel only.
Well, if it was any other driver, I'd probably have a little bit of concern, but Jordan Wenzel has proven himself week after week here in this series. But knowing, he's got in 30 or so laps an opportunity to come back down and kind of fix whatever mistake he's made, if this truly is a mistake. If not, hey, we'll see how it goes.
We're here now.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll know soon enough as we begin to get some lap times posted once we go back to green.
Sure.
So here in this series, the leader does get lane choice, and it looks like he has selected to take the low line. We saw a number of drivers last night elect for the high line, which played to their advantage.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that the 81 didn't take the low line or the high line. I thought he would have taken the high line just to get that run down in the corner to try to gap him enough, so he doesn't get caught up in anything. But here we go. We're about to get the green flag back underway here at Dover.
Thinking that lower line does give a better opportunity to block.
Sure, and green flag back in the air here.
No advantage. He was not able to gap himself at all.
And this is where it's going to get dicey. Out of turn 2, yep, he's going to drop back like a fly. Potentially 3 wide. Yep, 3 wide in turn 3 and turn 4.
Yeah, we've seen that week after week when drivers are on old tires, they just cycle back. He's now back in 8th, caught behind in front of the 99 of Lem. They are 3-4 wide there. They survived that, but barely. Still 3 wide.
Yeah, he is dropping back really bad right now, Jordan Wenzel is.
This is always the hairiest part. This is that restart with guys who've got fresh tires. A couple of guys brushing the safer barrier back there. Back up front, Alex Forget-Berube out front. He's got the Ty Bosick and Corey Bunch not far behind. Ty Bosick has moved up to 2. Comment from Mr. David Watts, Retro Dave on YouTube, says our new graphics look great. Thank you, Dave. We made a graphics improvement to our broadcast. Hopefully that is bringing you a better image. If our streaming service will cooperate, we'll continue to bring you this race in high definition, 2K. We are looking to move to a 4K platform later in the year.
That'll be pretty impressive to watch. That's all I gotta say. It'll make those broadcasts look extra crispy.
We like extra crispy.
We do. Now you're making me hungry.
All right, 30 complete here of our scheduled 200. One minor incident involving one car, well, two, but Alberto Abar seemed to have gotten the worst of it. Tony Japs and the 42 were also involved, but long green flag run so far. We'll see if we can get a sort of green flag pit stop sometime around. Well, we know our next at 66 we will get a caution. So. All right. We're watching the battle for two because Corey Bunch has worked his way around Ty Bostic to take over second place, but Alex Forget has just kind of got himself a pretty good lead. Just over a full second between himself and second place of Corey Bunch.
And look at Jonathan Baranowskis there in P4. Great run for him already. Cody Graham up 13. Travis Bennett up 17. Rick, he's made its way halfway through the field. We're only 40 laps into this. Watch out for that 01.
Yeah, he certainly is improving his position after starting nearly in the back. All right, just 25 laps till we break for our stage break. Bring up a graphic, see what we've got. So right now it looks like we've got the 19 is about a straightaway behind Martin Pinnell in the 20. So at that point, we'll see that lap traffic may be a factor at some point in the near future.
Looking at Alex, he's holding a really nice line, dominating the corners here. Doing a great job out front. You know, we saw him run out front. Was that last week? Or was it the week prior? We've seen the 19 do very well recently.
Alex currently sitting 15 in points, but in the current playoffs, he is right there. He is 16th. He is just above the cut line. Doing well today will significantly improve his position and move him up in the playoff battle. Getting a win, even better.
Oh yeah, you know, wins are very important and they're hard to come by, so making sure that you can run up front and get that win is so important. And I'm just trying to figure out, you know, the 81 strategy. I understand. Oh, got a car slow out of turn 4. Looks like he'll be all right. But Rick, I'm trying to figure out Jordan Wenzel's strategy. Do you think he's just saving a set of tires for the end of the race?
Don't know. It certainly is an advantage. We saw that from this restart, just how much that'll matter. But just doing the math, you've got enough sets to get yourself around. Oh, a bit of a dip there. Not sure who that was. It was Jacob Russo. Yeah, that was the 20.
Caution.
Caution is out. Ron Fitting, Martin Giroux.
Ooh.
Looks like the one of Matt Robinson may have been the catalyst in that event. Coming up and tagging the left rear of the 50 Giro. That's Matt Robinson in the 1. See as he drifts up, he contacts the left rear, and that takes out the 5th. Unfortunately, collects the 3 as they slide across the start-finish line.
It happens that quick here at Dover. And with 16, 17 laps to go in this stage, what do? You stay out, you come down pit road.
Well, a few have decided to come down pit road. Ty Bostic is one. Simon Magin is another. Jordan Wenzel has decided to come down. That answers that question, right?
Yep.
Jordan stayed out that last time. I don't think it really benefited him much. See Simon Magin, Tony Japs also on pit road. That's a long stop. There's a 20-second stop for Jordan Wenzel.
Yep, and you're going to have the majority of those drivers all the way back in 27th, 28th, 29th. And I don't think, I think 15 laps on the tires is going to be enough to make a difference, obviously. And then on the flip side of that, it'll make a difference on the backside of when I would assume they would hopefully come down pit road again, but I really don't know.
Well, gosh, if you've got 5 sets of tires and you've blown through 2 sets already, and we haven't done just over a quarter of the event. So, I don't know. I don't know if you'd come back and take your 3rd set and then try to make it 140 laps.
I agree. I'm right there with you.
So, I'm not sure this was a strategic move that makes a lot of sense, but hey, I'm just watching. So, these guys are...
yeah. We're not driving. We're just speculating here.
That's correct. So, it's up to them to figure out what makes the best sense for their team and their... We'll see how it all plays out. So, bear with us, folks. We are having a little bit of internet issues. I'm not sure if it's translated itself to the broadcast, but we are seeing a little bit of frame rate issues, but we'll see. Things that are out of the broadcaster's control.
Oh yeah, we're at the mercy of technology. So, but we got about a 13. I can't do math. 14 lap. No, that's about right. It'll be 13 laps. Okay. 13 lap shootout to the end here because we have stage break at lap 66. So once we get the green flag, I'm looking to see what these drivers in the back can do. Speaking of Simon Magin, Jordan Wenzel, John Krupa, those guys in the back that have those fresher tires, are they going to be able to have an advantage? They have 22 laps on the field, so it'll be a pretty big advantage here for quite a few of those guys. We'll see what happens. Pace car has dipped off, and
once we see who established himself here, we may take a peek back at the tail end as those guys try to race to the
stack
front.
up, big stack up there for both lanes.
I wonder if they'll have an issue with positions at that point.
Yeah. Possibly.
Watching 2 wide as we work our way on this restart. Here at lap 53. You see the 24 of Matt Veracini to the outside.
And the 46 and the 81 is just driving around guys right now. They are already making their way up through this field on the high side, making hay.
That's the 46 of Simon Magin. Oh, into the wall goes Scott Thomas.
Oh, he's going to split the gap. No, doesn't do it there. He thought about it.
See the 81. He's back there. That's Jordan Wenzel.
I think he's got to try to do it here to get the advantage. Maybe not. It's going to stay in the outside lane. Got to open up the door for the 81 to get to the inside.
Oh, he was
at
loose.
40.
81 almost a little bit of a waggle onto that.
There was a car sideways in 1 and 2 right in front of these guys. A white car you're about to see right there.
That is the 35 of Tyler Sexton right there. Now we're nearly 3 wide. The 5 is backed up. Oh, contact. The 35 and the 5 of Richard Mills.
Oh, this is hairy. This is not going to be good.
Oh, there it is at the bottom. Contact with the 7 of Abar.
Oh! Came back up the track. Almost got the pace car.
Pace car had to get out of the way. We got bumpers missing on the 29 of John Krupa, damaged all over the 7. That's the second incident we've seen the 7 involved in tonight. So Garrett Walden involved, Abar, John Krupa.
Yeah, a lot happened there. A lot to dissect.
Yep. There's contact in front with the 35 and the 5 of Mills. 7 goes below, but gets tapped a little bit between. That was like the 20, not. It was like the 7. I'm not gonna. Well, I was gonna say it wasn't his fault, but I think unfortunately he was not able to hold it, and that made a huge difference in that event.
Sure did.
All right, what we are seeing, though, is a number of drivers who have now decided to come down pit road, including the 41 of Jordan Booth, also Tyro Lem, Jordan Wenzel, also on pit road. I'm assuming he's just taking fuel at this point.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yep, that's a fuel-only stop. He just took tires previously. But we knew there was going to be a little bit of action in the back. But this is going to set up to be about a 3 or 4 lap shootout for the stage break and the stage points.
Yeah, this always proves to be pretty intense battles, especially right here, because you want the stage points. Yeah, you don't want to wreck your car, so it's all over the board.
So the 19 of Alex Forget-Berruvi is the control car. We'll see which lane he picks again. This is going to be a shootout as we get to lap 66 for the stage break. He'll have Corey Bunch to either his inside or outside. Alex Murphy will be there in third, and Brendan Hayes in fourth. Those drivers that chose to make some adjustments are finding their way moving up. We saw Jordan Wenzel is back out up to 23rd. Ty Bostic, who was also took a caution around lap 49, is now up to 20th. Trying taking advantage of those fresher tires. Right now, waiting on a number of drivers to work their way out of pit road. sure. We've got Garrett Walden, his number of laps down. He's 1 lap down. Pinnell 1 lap down. John Krupa is still on pit road getting repairs made, but he was. I think he is doing okay. I did notice that one driver was missing a bumper. The 81 is back on pit road. Not really sure why. But one of the things that we don't have is insight into each individual driver's strategy. They're setting this up themselves as to what makes the best sense for them, and it really is a chess game. So
it is, and that's where, what do you do? It's going to be a matter of how do I counter my competitors and set myself up to where when they're struggling, I can take advantage, or vice versa. When I'm struggling, I could think that they're taking advantage, but they're really not. So I'm very curious to see how this is going to play out. But we're about to get the green flag here back at Dover. Just a couple laps shootout to the end of the stage. Yeah, 19 out front.
4 laps.
Green
4
flag
miles.
back in the air.
Bit of definitely some slicing and dicing mid-pack back.
Oh, absolutely.
These drivers battling for points at this point with just 4 laps to go, 3 laps to go. There's that stage break flag. Caution will fly at the end of lap 66. What's the battle for 5th between the 67 of Corey Ennis and the 40 of Brendan Hayes. And don't look too farther or back. There's huge battles going on behind these two. 3 wide now. Musso in the middle. That's the 12 of Eric Jeffers up high. They're door to door with the 25 and the 24.
All right, with just 2 laps really to go here, who is going to get some of the last of these stage points?
I think the top 4 is nailed down. Those guys are pretty much lined up, but then we go back to the 67. And Jacob Musso, who's moved up around the 40, battling up for points and getting in 6th place. Super close between those drivers. Oh, they're wrecking behind.
Yeah, wrecking at the line. Oh, that's a couple big names. You got the 45 involved. James Jones. I think Vernon Broadbeck as well was involved in that one. And that is not what you wanted to see.
So we're watching that Simon Imagine, the 46, the 24 Parasini. Looks like there is a net code that spins between the 24 and the 45, spinning him sideways. You do see the 10 Broadbeck also engaged. Imagine is the meat in that sandwich, and then also the 9 comes up and is also involved.
And there's Travis Bennett right there, just squeaking by.
All right. Okay. So we are now at the stage break, and guess what? Our entire field is now back on pit road.
As expected. 4 tires, full tank of fuel, and looks like Simon Maginoff with Travis Bennett there right behind him as the top 6 do not pit. Interesting move.
Yep. And interestingly enough, that does move Alberto Abar, who was involved in that earlier, actually a couple of incidents early on, to the lead, and he will be in control at the restart. Those first 4, let me rephrase that. The first 6 drivers, Abar, Lem, Fitting, Booth, Wenzel, Wheel, and nope, that was it. Those drivers are all who did not pit, although the 3 is now on pit road. So, all right, should be an interesting restart. The drivers behind have nearly, well, it's not huge. It's maybe 8 or 9 lap better tires, but it's something.
It's something for sure. And I'm curious to see how this is going to be on the long run. Very curious.
Yeah, my guess is that as we saw what happened with the 81, he cycled back, but now he gets to do it all over again. Jordan Wenzel is now going to line up in the 4th slot. So he'll be just behind, potentially, depending on where Abar goes. Looks like he is going to stay to the low line, putting Tyler Lem to the outside in that 99 Uber Eats Chevrolet. 41 of Jordan Booth is going to be in 3rd, and that puts Jordan Wenzel in 4th up on the outside. So this is setting up to be a very interesting race, and of course we're watching Simon Magin and Travis Bennett, who is now up 27 positions to restart, this time in 7th.
Wow. He's a good one. I got to say, he knows how to get it done. So I'm excited to see what he's able to do up here in the front now.
Yeah, Michael Whitley is now on pit road. But the lights are off on our pace car, which means we are about to go back to green flag racing. Again, thank you for tuning in to the IWM broadcast of the iNRS series here at the Wurth 200 at Dover, Delaware.
Looking at the field right now, you have 33 cars on the lead lap. Alberto Abar up 20 positions, Mike Wheel up 21, Travis Bennett up 26. Huge movers here, and we're about to see how this restart's going to play out for Alberto Abar up there in the front. Oldest set of tires, but only 8-lap old tires, so we'll see how that plays out here for the 7. Pace car is on pit road. They're in the Geico restart zone just now, and green flag back in the air here at good old Dover, the Monster Mile. We start to see the field diving down into the turn 1.
We're watching the 7 of Alberto Abar as he leads this field onto the back stretch on this restart at lap 72.
At this point, you know, you are currently, at least I would, be in tire conservation mode. You have 125 laps to go. There's no reason to put yourself in a position where you could possibly end up in a bad spot. So making sure you can keep your track position while also saving tires to be good on the long run, that's what I would recommend for all these drivers right now. But Alberto Abar just laid the fastest lap of the race by 0.2 of a second, a 23.364
on 10-lap old tires.
Incredible time there.
Well, I think he was just looking for some clean air once he got out front without dealing with all that traffic behind him. He certainly has put up a monster number.
Sure.
Really stretching out the gap between himself and Jordan Booth. But Jordan Booth is not far behind. He's got Lem and Forget Berube right there. 81 is there as well. We're looking back. That's back to take a look. I think that was 25. Amuso is a bit out of shape. Looking back through the field, you're seeing a lot of it. We're still too wide on these restarts. A lot going on. A lot of action further on back in the field as drivers search for their best way around this track here at lap 78. And once we're past this stage break, now it becomes a tactical decision as to where you are with fuel stops and tires.
Absolutely.
Well, the 19 of Alex Forget Berube has made his way around both Tyler Lem and Jordan Booth and is now trying to hunt down the 7 of A-Bar. If I had to guess, I think Alex likes this track.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. He's been up at the front all day long, and that's good to see because he needs a solid run to get himself into these playoffs.
Tyler Sexton, the 35, Grease Monkey Motorsports Chevrolet is on pit road. Let's go and take a quick ride along with Mr. Forget Berube and watch how he navigates getting around this track.
Very smooth with the wheel there. That's what you need here, and does a great job off corner exit.
Just see him drop down here, almost nip the apex of 1, up a little high, back to the apex of 2. That's what we talk about. Kira say he's diamonding that. And he has closed the gap on A-Bar.
He's there. Here he comes out of the inside. The number 19 is on 10-lap fresher tires, and I think those tires are showing right now. Alex Forget Berube back to the point here at Darlington on lap 85.
At Dover.
At Dover. Yeah, I said Darlington, didn't I?
You did.
It's been a long day, Rick.
I feel you.
It's been a long day.
I feel you.
I said it with such confidence, too.
It was smooth. You just kind of rolled with it.
I did. And I for a second, I was like, wait a second. That's not right. Oh, man. Well, you know, looking at where we are right now, Alberto Abar up 19 spots. Travis Bennett up 27. Mike Wheel up 18. Cody Graham up 14. A lot of big movers in this race, but also a lot of big losers, unfortunately. Corey Bunch has lost 19 spots. Matt Perusini minus 15. Garrett Walden minus 16. So that's the flip side of that coin. Unfortunately, when you have drivers that are making up a lot of positions, sometimes you have drivers who are unfortunately losing position. Now, battle for P2. Here comes Jordan Booth to the inside of the 7. Makes it look easy in 3 and 4 at Dover, not Darlington. But at Dover,
Yeah, I think unfortunately they that gasp, that gamble paid off for A-Bar to lead a lap and to lead a few laps to get some good TV time, but unfortunately those older tires are but then I say that Jordan Booth is only, his tires are only 1 lap fresher than A-Bar. He was one of those groups drivers that were able to make it around right now with the older tires. Same with Lem, Wenzel, and Murphy's on fresher tires. Got a note from telemetry is that Matt Pericini may have spun.
yeah, there's definitely some smoke. Probably a car that's gone around.
Getting back on the racing track. Let's see if we can catch that replay here. So no caution came out. Didn't look like there's a much major damage, possibly a little bit of a nose damage, but get around. Unfortunately, that incident probably flat spotted those tires a bit. But Forge Berube is now out to a 2.2 second lead over second place Jordan Booth, who then right behind Jordan Booth is the other Jordan Squared, Jordan Wenzel, who is a couple seconds back behind him. One thing I have noticed that besides the 19 of Alex Forget, who pitted on 68, the next driver down is Alex Murphy, who made that same stop in 4th. He's got the 99 of Tyler Lem on his tail, but he works his way around that guy, and now he's got his sights set on the 81 of Jordan Wenzel.
Looks like there was a little bit of contact between the 7 of Alberto Obar and the 40 of Brendan Hayes. Looks like they're trying to battle side by side.
Yeah,
Here comes the 12.
That 7 is just kind of slipping farther and farther.
Yeah, we've seen that tires are very important here. Oh, yellow's out. Yep. What do we got?
Matthew Robinson possibly involved. Tyler Sexton as well involved. Let's go back and see what we see here. That's Tony Japs in the 42. Oh, a little bit of cover. There it is. So other drivers made it by without, whew, close. Now is the question. I think if you are the 7 of Alberto Abar, you may decide to come down onto pit road. You may see also, yep, they're here. They're all coming down. Top 15, 16, 17 drivers all on pit road. So with the exception of Richard Mills, I think good bit of the field. Ron Fitting with Grease Monkey Motorsports did not come down. He may have been correct. He may have been a lap down. So he'll come in next
possibly.
Time by. So all the lap down traffic will actually pit the next time by. Good battle off pit road between the 41 and the 19.
Some great battles off pit road tonight. That's pretty interesting to see with the differentiating strategies. You know, we've seen some guys go for tires only, some fuel only strategies stops as well.
All right, coming up to the halfway point here at Dover. I almost said Darlington. You put that in my head, I can't get it out.
Hey, the lady in black and the Monster Mile are best friends. So.
Yep, I'm sure. I am thinking that Mills and Fitting will get a wave around. It did not come in, but we'll see.
Yeah, that would be my guess. Both Grease Monkey Motorsports individuals there, teammates, and they will definitely get that for sure. I mean, it does say they're the leader, though.
Yeah, it does. It does show that, but yeah, I was looking for the lap down report, and it shows that they are on the lead lap, so they actually will restart this race. They are on nearly 28 lap old tires. They pitted last on lap 68, and everybody else pitted on lap 96, so that is not good.
We've seen this story many times.
Yeah, it doesn't end well.
Never does.
No. And the biggest challenge is they are now in command of both lanes. We'll see what drama this brings to this restart and subsequent laps. All right, lap 99, we'll go back to green just past the halfway point. Lights are out on the pace car. We thank you for tuning in tonight to the IWM broadcast of iNRS Series here, the Wurth 200 at Dover International Speedway. Currently, your leader is Richard Mills on this restart on our 5th of the night. So far, it looks like the battle of the Jordans is continuing to be hot here. Both Booth in 3 and Wenzel in 5.
Alrighty.
The hoods of those cars.
Here we go. Green flag back in the air. Richard Mills now to the point.
Ron Fitting kind of lets them go, fades off against the high line. Unfortunately, drivers have to work their way around on this restart. 2 and 3 wide. Working their way past the 3 who comes down. And now we're 3 wide.
Oh, hold on. This is going to be tight out of the corner. Especially out of turn 2. This might get ugly, Rick.
Finds a spot to slip back in, but he is off. That's Musso behind him. Now we're 3 wide. The 28 is there. A little bit of contact with the 79 of Scott Thomas. The 28 holds to. That's Joe Musso. He holds on. Got the 96 of Wheel behind. Wheel makes his way around as well. A little bit of tire spin out of Wheel. He saved it.
3 wide again. Got some 3 wide action again.
Yep. But that 3 of Ron Fitting has now gone from 2nd all the way back to 28th.
It happens just like that.
Yep, we saw that coming though. It just happened. All right, back up front, Jordan Booth has now taken over the lead. Alex Forget-Ruby. And again, that other driver, Richard Mills, who was up at the front, unfortunately, has slipped back now to 13th position. Oh, rephrase that. 14th position. See the 7 of A-Bar sliding up underneath. Right back up front, Jordan Wurth has got his hands full. He's got A-Bar, I'm sorry, he's got Alex right there trying to figure out how to get around him.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. The 19 has great speed tonight, so I'll see what he does.
Oh, contact. And he saves it. Jordan saves it.
Well, oh, he's going to get a great run out of the corner. He's going to go low in turn 1. 19 down low. I don't think the 41 was too appreciative of that.
Nope. But don't look now. Travis Bennett is now up to 6th.
Of course he is, Rick. Where else would he be?
That's right.
Took him just about half the race, a little over halfway to get up to the front.
'81 of Wenzel is now up to 4th. Alex Murphy is in 3rd. Well, he's battling door to door. There's contact. Contact between Jordan Wenzel and Alex Murphy. This is all unfolding right in front of the 01 of Bennett. And Jeffers
there
is
goes.
right there.
Yep. Out to almost a full second gap on the field.
The crossover move by the 12 of Jeffers trying to get around the 81 of Wenzel. Doesn't make it that time. Back up front, Alex Forget-Berube has a, as you said, a significant gap. Under a second over Jordan Wurth. .113 laps complete, 114 at the line. As we wind down here at the Wurth 200 here at Dover International Speedway.
And Rick, looking at some of these pit stops, you know, we are about 30, about to be 20 laps on these tires. That means about 35 more after this. So you're pitting it right at about 150. And you can make it to the end on one more stop. So we'll see if that's going to be the case here with some of these drivers pitting on about lap 150. I suspect that's what the strategy might be. Maybe a little bit later, maybe 153, 154. But I think you could just make it one more stop if there are no cautions.
Yeah, we have yet to see green flag stops here at Dover tonight. Those cautions have played conveniently into the hands, but a number of drivers, you know, they're on completely different strategies. So, for example, Alex Forget-Berube has only been on pit road 3 times tonight, whereas further on back, you look at the 81 of Wenzel, he's seen pit road 5 times. Now,
wow.
not every time for tires, he just came down for fuel on a previous stop, not this last one, but you maybe 3 your tires at this point. But on average, majority of the field has only come down 3 times onto pit road. Stretching out now. Let's bring up that track map. See that we're pretty much all over the track right now. Now you're thinking, well, what does that really matter? Well, it matters because at this point we're going to begin to see the leaders deal with lap traffic.
Absolutely.
So right there you can see in front of Alex, he's got just about a quarter of a turn where he runs up onto the 3 of Ron Fitting. Ron is the last car on the lead lap, and well as Martin Giroux is there, and the 5 of Richard Mills.
Yeah, lap traffic at Dover is one of the toughest things to get around. Besides trying to pass, it's tough. You got to make sure you're setting up your entry right to get a great run off, and that way you can actually pass and not lose too much time. It's just like Bristol in that aspect.
Sometimes you'll be able to just take your line and the car you're racing against will just either slip up, slip down, you just slip under. But others, may not be, they're still racing for position. They may not want to let you go. You can see the 3 of Ron Fitting. He's not giving up the line, but he realized the leader's there. Lets him slip underneath, and that didn't cost the 19 much at all.
All right, Alex Forget up by 2.3 seconds over Jordan Booth and Alex Murphy there in 3rd. Brendan Hayes in 4th. Jordan Wenzel there in 5th. Travis Bennett has stalled out in 7th with Eric Jeffers there in 6th. Jonathan Varanauskas there in 8th. Tyler Lemon 9th and Ty Bostic in 10th. Travis Bennett might be just hanging out. I mean, he's running some of the fastest laps on the track right now, but we'll see what happens with his triumph back up to the front.
We can bring up their best of their last time by, their lap times. You can see that.
Oh, caution.
Caution's out. Eric Jeffers possibly involved. Yeah, he's pinned against that inside retaining wall. Trying to figure out how to get around. Kind of pointed in the right direction. Definitely spinning some tires, maybe not happy with whatever happened. Let's see if we can figure out what happened here. That's the 81 of Wenzel to the outside. Well, it looks like it looks like, back up, that he may have just caught the apron.
Yeah, looks like it.
Oh, and then the 01 tags him, spins him around, but he was off speed. I think the contact that he had with the apron kind of really upset the car, and then unfortunately collected. But here we are, lap 127. Everybody, literally everybody, well, not everybody, most of the drivers, 29 of the top 30 are on pit road.
Not too surprising there.
No, but that does make that still is going to require them, I think, one more stop.
I agree.
This is a full fuel and 4-tire change for everybody. Basically, it's going to be a do-over at this point. So it's our 6th caution of the night. All right, again, thank you for tuning in to the IWM Broadcast Network of the iNRS Racing Series. We're here tonight at Dover International Speedway, and one of the cool things about the iNRS Series is it does track at the same locations as our Cup Series that you'll see on Sunday here, so a good preview of what you'll see in Dover this coming weekend if you do follow NASCAR Cup Series. So this is what those drivers will face on the weekend in Dover.
Yeah, and what a great run for the 19. I mean, he's been the class of the field all day long.
I'm actually trying to get a little bit of a view of what's happening, what the weather will be like in Dover, Delaware. We've kind of been faced with some not the best weather on the NASCAR series, but looks like Sunday just a potential 14% chance of rain, so they may get that in.
Should be able to. Does it say what time particularly?
It doesn't actually call out that there would be any weather there. It just has a chance, so we can go.
Very nice.
This is partly cloudy, high around 80, light winds. So
Nice.
play in pretty well. Good to have a weekend with NASCAR without any weather-related issues.
Exactly.
All right, so that's the 24 Persina getting the wave around. And that puts our leader, Alex Forget-Berube, in control of this restart. He starts on the low line. He does have the 41 of Booth to the outside, the 30 of Murphy behind him, and Brandon Hayes. So 240 XLI guys are in that mix. And don't forget the 81 of Jordan Wenzel right there. Got Travis Bennett and Jonathan Vernauskas. That's your top 7. Tyler Lem is 8. Bostic back up in 9th, and Cody Graham in 10th.
Should be a good restart to see how these new tires are going to play out for everybody, towards the end of this race. Because if you can go 55 laps, you're looking at pitting in lap 185. So what is the strategy call here for these drivers? Pace car down pit road. They're in the Geico restart zone, and green flag is back out here at Dover. A little bit of a slide out of the
I thought he spun his tires on the restart.
Yeah, he did.
That's good for Alex, bad for Jordan. That put it kind of within the grasp of Murphy and his teammates. Of course, the 30 of Alex Murphy is kind of in a 40 XLI sandwich there.
Oh, there's some tight battles going on throughout
the
field right now.
To the 22 of Bostic down low under the Cody Graham. Further on back, you got 2 wide. That's the 1 of Matt Robinson. He's back there with Michael Whitley. The 45 of James Jones is right there as well. Looking further back. Oh, the car's spinning, but he saved it, I think.
I think he did.
Is that the 15 of Clark Franz?
Good save there.
Back up front, Alex Forget-Berube still leads this race. Jordan Booth in 2nd. Alex Murphy is staying in 3rd, and Brendan Hayes in 4th. Jordan Wenzel is in 5th. back nearly all the way around single file.
Yeah, I think the field knows that it's about time to ride, and oh, some little smoke there from somebody getting to the wall, but it's about time to just ride around and make sure you can get to the end of the race here. That's the key. Get to the end. Get yourself into a position to potentially battle that 19. Side-by-side action right there with the 01 to Travis Bennett, the 27, I believe that is. Oh, stuck on the high side, not the high side you want to be on.
Nope. That gives Bostic the opportunity to slip in front. Travis Bennett's last lap was a 23.78, nearly 4/10 slower than the leaders. Back up front, but Alex Forget has just got this car dialed in. He knows his way around this track. He is consistent lap after lap after lap.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing a great job. I mean, he's putting on a clinic out there right now. It's impressive to watch.
A battle here again. Cody Graham up under the 22 of Bostic, trying to get around him, and of course he's got the 77 of Corey Bunch right there. Corey's making his way back up.
Yep, Corey Bunch, minus 6 spots, trying to make his way through up there, like you said.
Polsitter trying to get back up front. Alex Forget still has over a half a second gap between himself and Jordan Booth.
And looking at their lap times, Jordan Booth is running faster laps than Alex Forget-Berube, so.
Yep, just a few hundreds faster, but still faster.
Yep, still faster.
All it takes is one mistake, one little gaffe, either on corner exit or corner entry, and that gap will just disappear.
Correct.
Rossini was on pit road. He's now off. Let's ride along with Jordan Booth and see how he is making it through here at Dover. He's shifting.
He is. Obviously, it'll help the car not bog down as much in the corners.
Yeah, I think it's kind of, it's a tribute to Jordan and his driving capabilities, but it certainly is a much bigger handful trying to hold it together as that torque, when he drops that down to the fourth gear.
Oh, caution. Caution is out.
I see a bumper flying. That's a bumperless car. Ron Fitting in the 3, as well as the 70, I think of Scott Thomas is also damaged. Yep, let's take a look back what happened. I think Mike Wheel is also involved. Oh, it happened right in front. Let's back that up a bit and try to take a different, let's go to the 96. So that's Tyler Lem in the 99 below the 96 of Wheel. It's like he comes up and actually just taps him. Unfortunately, that sends him right into just misses that inside retaining wall, but he is going about 160 miles an hour. He cannot hold it down there and noses right into the safer barrier. And unfortunately, that's right in front of the 79. The 20 gets involved. That's Pinnell, and then the 3 has no place to go. So you saw the 20, the 79, the 96, and the 3 all get involved, all because of that tap that occurred with the 99 and Lem.
Yep.
All right, so interestingly enough, a number of drivers, a good bit of the field, came down pit road, with the majority of them just taking fuel only.
Another interesting call there. I mean, I think I still think tires are going to prevail in the end, especially if this is the last stop, Rick, This could be the last stop before the end of the race.
Here's an interesting fact, though. The 40 XLI guys, both Jordan Booth and Brendan Hayes, chose not to come in. Corey Bunch stayed out. Alberto Abar stayed out. So those 4 did not come in. Who did come in, your leader, Alex Forget-Berube, comes out in 9th. He came down pit road and took a 4-tire stop and fuel. Everybody else who chose above that, and I'll go through the list, Murphy, Vernaskis, Graham, and Magin, fuel only. Vernon Broadbeck behind Alex, fuel only. Same with Musso and Corey Ennis. Jordan Wenzel, 4-tire stop. Ty Bostic, 4-tire stop. So this is going to be a very interesting restart. Travis Bennett, 4-tire stop. Travis will start in 18th.
I mean, 22 laps is pretty significant on tires. I think it's more significant. It's not on maybe immediately, but towards the back end of the run, Rick, it's going to be, you got to have that. You do. You have to have tires on the back end of a run, especially if this is the last caution or our last pit stop of the race. This is the money stop.
Well, with 50 laps to go, this could be, if you timed it right, if you're Alex Forget-Berube, you're done. You don't have to come back down again.
Right.
Our lights are off on top of our pace car, which means we'll be going back to green next time by. You've got the 40 XLI team in charge of both lanes. You've got Corey Bunch and Alberto Abar back there in row 2. And that's the end of the guys who pitted 22 laps ago. Now, the next 4 or 5 guys, they just took fuel, so they're on the same tire strategy as the previous 4 that we mentioned. But I'm really interested in watching Who came down on lap 148 and took fuel and tires? The 19 of Berube.
Yep, that'll be the driver to look out for as we're about to get the restart here. Green flag back in the air here at Dover. Jordan Booth out front in that McConey setup shop, number 41.
Lots of scrambling going on. Really, this is going to be, as far as I'm watching, A-Bar. He has got to work his way through traffic and avoid an incident. He's got to get around the 7.
Oh, caution's out.
Scott Thomas, let's go back and look as it may be. It looks like possibly the 20 and the 50 were involved. I don't know for sure. Let's try to get a replay on that real quick. That's a recipe right there. So that's a 20.
Squeeze them up.
Yep.
Yeah, there's nowhere to go.
15 of Friends is right there. He is able to duck below the 3 as well. There's the 1 as the 20 and 50 are pinned. That's Pinnell and Martin Giroux to that outside wall. It's like the pitch. We'll see how that plays out. All right, probably no takers, I don't think, at this point on pit road, but you just never know. That only clicked 5 laps off of our total here. This is our 8th caution of the night. Just 45 laps to go here at Dover, the Monster Mile.
I think it's going to be a race to the end. I don't see any reason to go down pit road unless you get a late caution, maybe with 5 or 10 laps. I would say with 10 laps to go so you can take advantage of those tires. And doing some calculations here, it looks like they should be able to make it to the end on gas. So
fuel is not a problem. It's really, if you look at the drivers who pitted last, if you look at Hayes and Booth and Bunch, as well as A-Bar, they pitted last on lap 126. So their tires are going to be trashed soon enough.
Oh yeah, it's going to happen.
Lights are still on our pace car. Looking back through the field, we've got 30 cars on the lead lap. Robinson 1 lap down, Perosini 2, Lem 3. Unfortunately, a couple of drivers' wheel is in the pit still trying to get repairs made, and basically hoping to get it out to get back in. Tyler Sexton is retired. All right, John, interesting race so far tonight. Pretty impressed with these guys.
Oh yeah, done a great job, and I'm very curious to see how these tires are going to play out towards the end of this run, because these guys up at the front, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to beat those guys with 20 lap fresher tires. So it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Yeah, we've heat cycled with the cautions that have come out through these tires a couple of times. And that is, that plus the extended wear, the fact that those guys do have 22 plus. Of course, we've had a caution or two in that same window, so straight up worn as it would be if it was just 22 laps of straight driving. But it is significant when you look at the fact that we are at lap 157 and they came in last 20, nearly 30 laps ago. So.
All right, green flag back in the air here.
Good restart, but you saw that the 77 a bunch was able to find his way and not allow the 40 XLI teammates to wind up 1 and 2.
Yeah, did a great job there. I mean, that's textbook execution by those guys. Because once those teammates get locked up, they are hard to separate.
This is the crank it up segment of our race tonight.
Maybe just a little bit.
Corey Bunch has moved up and is right there holding a solid second. With a battle between the 19 is up as well. Definitely some battles further on back. It's Ty Bostic,
Oh, yeah.
He's too wide. Almost 3 wide there with the 67 and the 43. At 72 is Jonathan Baranowskis with Rumble Racing. To the outside, the 22 of Bostic is below with MB2 Motorsports. You're too wide there. Farther back to the 94 of Michael Whitley Jr. slipping under the 43 of Garrett Walden. I mean, it is head snapping fast as we make it through these corners.
Oh yeah, it's the speed has definitely picked up just a little bit. Looking at some of these lap times now, and it's side by side. Everybody's taking. There's no give right now. When you have just about 35 laps to go in a race.
Looking back here with this bunch of drivers, it is definitely packed here in this group. They may not be up at the front, but they are battling just as hard further on back here in the pack. This is what you need. If you are back here and you're running in 22nd, 23rd, you've got to make a move. You've got to get up front. You're trying to claw your way back up. You haven't been fast enough all day, but you got to try and work your way back up to maybe a top 20 finish.
Sure.
That's the 79 of Scott Thomas trying to get around the 43 of Garrett Walden. A little farther up, looking for the 42 of Tony Japs. Bostic again right there. He's door to door with the 46 of Magid. He's got the 25 of Jacob Musso right there. He's trying to get around him.
Man, more cars just tearing down the wall.
The 01 of Bennett is locked to the rear bumper, or was, of the 81 of Wenzel. There's a Corey Budge there. Those three, I think those are the three to watch for this race, but we'll see how it all plays out. All right, coming down to 30 laps to go. But the 01 of Travis Bennett has made his way around both 40 XLI drivers, Booth and Hayes. He's got fresher tires. He is able to drive around those, and they're falling back. We're seeing now the 81 of Jordan Wenzel trying to work his way around the 41 of Jordan Booth. Oh, sideways contact,
hold on to it.
They kept it together.
Wow. Yeah, here's the tires that we were talking about. Here are the tires.
Yep, grip is gone for those 40 XLI guys. They're now, unfortunately, slipping back now 5th and 6th. As Bennett and Wenzel and Jeffers work to chase down Alex Forget-Berube. Plus 32 spot for Mr. Travis Bennett, right now showing in 2nd. Keep an eye on that.
Oh, that's 41.
41. Jordan Booth has crashed.
25 laps to go. Stuck in the middle of turn 3 right now. He's right there by the camera.
That's unfortunate. Let's try to go back and see just what happened. Oh, looks like there may have been contact with the 22 of Bostic. He holds
Saved it. Oh, he came
More
back down the track a little bit.
Kind of watching those grooves in the pavement. Yeah, he definitely came down. Unfortunately, did not end well. Bad, tough contact with the safer barrier. And then once you're pointed in the wrong direction like that, there's no way to drive off except like that.
Correct.
Okay. Not everybody is on pit road. The leaders, Forget-Berube and Bennett, stayed out. Jeffers stayed out. Bostic stayed out. Whitley stayed out. Japs and Thomas and Krupa stayed out. Everybody else in here on lap 174. So just 26 laps remaining. By the time we go back to green flag, we may be down to 23 or so. We'll see. But it's
yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a mile track, 23 or so seconds per lap. This race could be over in a blink of an eye.
Could be. All right. 25 laps to go here at Dover. Who is it going to be? The 19 has been out front all day, but that 01 of Travis Bennett, he is hungry. But pay attention to Jordan Wenzel, Brendan Hayes, P9, P10. They are on fresh tires, and there's enough time. So I think you need to watch out for those guys right there to potentially get sneak up here and get a win. So, Rick, what would you do? Would you rather stay out here and get track position, or would you want to get tires?
I'm taking tires.
I'm right there with you.
With just 25 laps to go, I would look for every advantage I could get, especially if I'm mid-pack. And frankly, you know, the drivers who did go in that time by, the first one is Jordan Wenzel. He'll start 9th.
I think it's going to be pretty hectic here with those guys in the back, or should I say mid-pack, you know, with tires. I think tires is going to be the name of the game here with just a little bit to go. 23 laps when we get back to the line. You need tires. And Jordan Booth now all the way back in 28th spot, not where he wanted to be. But number 19 of Alex Forget-Berube still up there. Let's see if he can get out in front of that 01 of Travis Bennett. The Buc-ee's machine up 32 spots on the day. Green flag back there. Oh, the 01 jumped a little bit, or maybe the 19 slept. That was a crazy start, but they are all not quite side by side.
Yeah, there's a movement in the back post. I think past the start-finish line, I don't think it mattered much, but I'm curious about whether there was a jump on that restart with the 01.
I don't know, but we got 3 wide action there out of turn 4. This is going to be tight, Rick. I don't know if they're going to be able to make it through. They do somehow. Don't know how.
Oh, spinning. That's the 50.
Yeah, we're wrecking.
We're wrecking big time. 67 going backwards. Martin Giroux also up against the wall. 28's involved. Krupa, Joe Musso, Matt Robinson also involved. Big wreck here.
It happens just like that.
To the 67 contact. Well, let's just go back. So the 5 and the 67 are, the 50 are door to door. 67 is there. The 50 does drop down a bit. Unfortunately, no place to go. The 43 Garrett Walden contact with the 67.
And that just collects everybody.
Yep, 29 of Krupa also big damage. All right. Now I guess we have had this is our 10th caution, a number of incidents on track. These guys do have a quick repair, you know. So question is, have they used it? Do they need it? I don't think the 67 needs it, but you know, with only 20 laps to go, you may just want to get it done.
Get out of the way.
Few drivers on pit road, just a few came in. Mostly the guys involved: Giroux, Coriolis, John Krupa also involved. Okay, so 20 laps to go. We'll get the restart probably with 18 laps to go. That's just gonna fly by. There's not a lot of time. You know, We've seen Travis Bennett drive his way up to the front a couple of times tonight, meticulously, carefully, methodically picking off his competitors as he made his way up. I think, it's going to come down to these two guys, but don't count out Bostic. He has been in it really the whole race, and he is sitting in third.
Yep, he has. And, watch out for him. He started in fourth, so he's up there battling, has all that experience from last night's race in the Tech Troop Cup Series. But I'm still looking at Jordan Wenzel there in P7, Corey Bunch in P9, everybody behind them who have tires. I think it's going to pay off. I think it's going to be too big of a delta. I mean, you're looking at 26 laps. 36 laps on the... No? Is my math wrong on that? Yeah, 26 laps. Yeah, 26 laps on those tires. That's a lot, especially, on the tail end, like we've seen all night long. Maybe for the first lap, you can get by. For the second lap, maybe. But once you get into that third lap and beyond, you'll notice the fall off. So we'll see what Alex does up there. Bennett, Ty, Jeffers, Whitley, and Japs, what they're able to do on those older tires. But, Rick, it's a lot of time left. Unless they get a couple more cautions, I would be worried.
Absolutely agree.
So here we go. We should be getting 1 to go this time by. That'll be 17 to go. When the green flag flies, thank you, everybody, for tuning in to tonight's iNRS Series event here, the Wurth 200, brought to you by the IWM Broadcast Network. If you're watching on replay, we appreciate you folks as well.
Got some great comments on our broadcast. We recently made a change and upgraded the output of our broadcast to bring you a better image here. And we appreciate those comments. All right, lights are off on the pace car. 18 laps to go, 17 at the start finish line.
All righty. This is for all of the marbles here. The 19 of Alex Forget Berube, the 01 there. Green flag back in the air. The 01 got the jump on the 19. Now
Backed
side
up.
by side going into turn 1.
The 22 got backed up. I think that inside line stalled back. To get the bail out.
Oh, the 01 got a great run here. He may go down to the bottom. The 19 blocks it. That's going to give the 01 the top line. Watch the 01 on corner exit, Rick. He may have a massive run. Oh, he just slides back just a little bit. Now with 16 to go at the line.
Not able to capitalize on that. Also, don't forget to keep an eye on the 81 of Wenzel. He pitted last on lap 174, fresh tires, and he is in 6th. Same with Corey Bunch in 7th.
Yeah, Wenzel. Oh, and we got another caution. That's exactly what the 19 wanted to see.
Big wreck. The 7's involved. 28, the 1, the 55. Big wreck. Sexton, Franz, Robinson, A-Bar, Joe Musso, Vince Burns all engaged in that incident. A quick look at it. See how this develops. See, the 28 is low. We're following the 35 of Tyler Sexton. So there's the incident up ahead. Bear with us as we kind of jump up a little far. I see the 15 involved. That's Clark Franz. Let's back that up just a second. So clearly it's tight racing.
Oh, yeah.
So
Has been all night.
10 is pinched, unfortunately. That pinches the 15 up to the 43. He goes around. There's the 10 involved. That's Broadbeck. The 55 has no place to go. That's Burns. 15's on a magic carpet ride spinning across the start-finish line. And then, unfortunately,
Oh,
that's collateral damage. That's the 1 and the 7 there now engaged. Matthew Robinson, the 3 as well. That's fitting. It doesn't take much to minorly overcorrect, and you are just on a collision course with other drivers.
yep. It's unfortunate.
Yep.
13 to go.
All right. We've dissected that enough. Few drivers, most of them all involved in that incident. A-Bar, Corey Ennis, John Krupa. Those guys are in the pits getting repairs made. But this gives Alex Forget another opportunity to maybe get a better restart. Bostic is in third. I think in that last restart, Ty Bostic had to back out of the throttle because I think he was about to run up on the 19.
He did. Yeah, these restarts have been pretty crazy.
Yeah, a lot of push me, pull you, a little slinky thing going on.
Exactly. But
all right.
with 12 to go, Rick.
Really, it will take the flag with 10 laps to go.
Yeah.
I really think it's all up to Alex at this point. He's got to, if he continues to race like he's done all night long, he'll be successful. For Travis Bennett, he needs to do what he's been doing all night long.
Mm-hmm.
He's really been aggressive, and we saw that even on that last restart. He had an opportunity to get by. He was not able to, but you saw he was determined.
All right. Lights out on the pace car. Going to be getting the green flag with 10 laps to go.
All comes down to this on this restart. Of course, we do have some green-white checkers that we could go to if need be. We'll ride along inside with Alex Forget-Marubi. He is down to first gear on this restart.
I've had experience with that, and it's a little tricky. So we'll ride on board, see what he's able to do. Pace car's down there in the Geico restart zone. Green in the air, great restart for the 19. With 10 laps to go, still got to watch out for Jordan Wenzel there. He has the fresher tires. He is in fifth.
A lot of movement in the back as these guys are battling for position with just 10 laps to go. Great restart in the night by the 19. That's exactly what he needed to put himself out in front of the 01. Bostic is in third. Jeffers in fourth. Wenzel in fifth. But Wenzel's got his drop back to take a beat. Wenzel is in side to side with Jeffers there.
He has the tires. Wenzel can win this race as long as he does what he needs to do. He is 1.26 seconds behind these guys. He needs to gain about 0.3 a lap.
He's chasing down Bostic.
Oh, we're wrecking in the back. Caution.
Big wreck.
Oh my gosh. Oh man.
Fitting, Mills, Japs, Walden, Sexton, Vernaskis, all involved. Five of Mills severely damaged. Let's back that up. Looks like the 40 was potentially involved. See if we can get a better look at this. Give us just a second to. So there's contact in front of the 40. That was Michael Whitley, I think there was contact with. And the 72 just came down. And unfortunately, that takes out everybody. 72 is spinning. 46 Imagine comes up hot. 43. Here's Mills trying to get around safely. Unfortunately, right there happens again in front. And then a mess.
Just a mess.
All right. That is our 12th caution of the night. I think that was actually what Jordan Wenzel needed. He is now up to 4th, so he will restart behind probably Travis Bennett at this point. Bostic will wind up behind Alex Forget-Berube. 6 laps to go. By the time we get back to green, it could just be the end of regulation, per se.
Possibly.
All right, thank you for joining or staying with us. We appreciate those who are live with us here on the IWM Broadcast Network as we wind down the last few laps here of tonight's event with the iNRS Series. Here is the Wurth 200 at Dover International Speedway. You've seen a great battle, lots of drama, a lot of beating and banging on this 1 mile concrete monster mile. So if there wasn't any drama for the past 2 weeks, not a lot of hate going around, there just might be a bit after tonight's event.
Just a little bit. You know, it's the monster mile.
A tad.
Just a wee bit. Just a wee bit. And, you know, we're going to see what happens. Jordan Wenzel's there, but don't forget about Cody Graham. Cody Graham also has tires as well there in P5. So those two drivers you got to watch out for. Watch out for Jacob Mousseau. Watch out for Corey Bunch. Watch out for Murphy and Whitley. Whitley actually is on older tires, so Brendan Hayes. This is going to be a wild restart. With just 3 to go at the line.
It really comes down to this for these drivers.
We do have 3 green-white checkers. Hopefully we won't have to use them, but if we do, well, we'll re-rack them, restack them, and go back to green.
This is all going to come down to the restart. Let's ride on board with Ty Bostic on this restart.
Yeah, Ty's in a great spot there. He does have older tires, but he's right behind the leader, so we're about to see this live right here. He is in first gear. They're about to enter the Geico restart zone. Green flag back in the air. 19 is away.
Good restart for Bostic. He kept it there. Didn't let 19 run away, and he slipped right in there. That pack of 3 has got some pretty good gap over the 81. Oh, contact.
Ty slammed the wall, but here comes the 01 to the back doorstep of the 19. 81, I don't think he's going to have enough time to get it. 2 laps to go.
He's about to go under the 22 of Bostic.
Bostic's still there. Bostic got tied on the corner exit. That's going to give the 3rd spot to Jordan Wenzel. Does he have enough time? Now coming to the white flag after Alex Forget-Berube. White flag in the air. 19 has been out front all day long. Here goes a battle for second about to unfold. The 01 and the 81 going to battle to the line. 01 goes low, 81 goes high. 81 is there.
He's got
as
the
Alex Forget-Berube comes out of turn 4, wins the race, and the 01 finishes in second with the 81 in third. What a race for the finish there for P2, but Alex Forget-Berube gets the win. Now, this is telling me Travis Bennett actually, Travis Bennett got in second, Jordan Wenzel in third. That is correct.
Okay, the official results have been posted. Let's let these drivers get their way around this track, and we will bring you those final finishing order here at the Wurth 200. There you have it. There is your podium finish. Alex Forget-Berube, Travis Bennett, and Jordan Wenzel. All right, let's bring you those results.
All right, here we go. With the win, Alex Forget-Berube, with Travis Bennett up 32 spots there in second. Jordan Wenzel in third. Cody Graham up 23 spots in fourth. Corey Bunch in fifth. Ty Bostic in sixth. Eric Jeffers in seventh. Brendan Hayes in eighth. Jordan Booth in ninth. And Michael Whitley Jr. in 10th.
All right, in 11th, Vince Burns, 12th. Austin Walton, Joe Musso in 13th. Martin Pinnell in 14th. Simon Magin in 15th. Scott Thomas finishes in 16th. Jacob Musso is in 17th. In 18th, Jonathan Vernaskis in 19th. Tony Japs. And 20th is Tyler Lem.
In 21st, Alex Murphy with Richard Mills in 22nd. 23rd, Vernon Broadbeck. 24th, Alberto Abar. 25th, James Jones. 26th, Ron Fitting. 27th is the Matthew Robinson machine with Garrett Walden in 28th. Martin Giroux in 29th. Corey Ennis in 30th.
All right, finishing our finishing order, Tyler Sexton in 31st, Clark Franz in 32nd, John Krupa finishes in 33rd, Matt Perosini in 34th, and Mike Wheel in 35th. All right, we're waiting for our finishers to join us here in the press room. We'll try to hunt down Mr. Jordan Wenzel. Sure, he's having a discussion. Well, we're not going to pull him out right now. He is talking with his teammate, but well, you know what? We're going to have to move him up. Let's grab him and try to bring him into the broadcast booth. All right, welcome to the broadcast booth. Congratulations, Jordan, on your P3 finish.
Yeah, I don't know where it came from.
Well, we were watching you all night, especially on these last, maybe last 50 or 60 laps in your march back up. We were that battle with Travis at the very end at that line was definitely a great battle.
Yeah, I initially was going to try to sacrifice the Sage to have that extra tire set, and I think that's where most of this happened. But Alex was just about a second a lap faster than the field. He was just lights out. There was no way I was going to get to him.
Well, if you go back and rewatch the broadcast, there may have been a discussion or two about staying out on old tires on that first restart prior to the stage break.
And I don't doubt it. It was a pretty interesting move, I will say, by myself. And I was actually thinking it was going to not pay off, and I was going to be bringing a set of tires back to the shop with me. But I ended up going in and coming out ninth, and I'm just like, oh, let's go green so I can try to get around these guys. But it worked out. P3's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we won't second guess you again. That was pretty awesome. So.
There's a lot to second guess here, so don't feel bad.
Well, again, congratulations on your finish. This is certainly what you needed. Again, great, another top 5 finish. Any shout outs tonight?
Shout out to everyone that didn't pass me in the standings when I missed Talladega.
Well, I think finishing third was may just help you a little bit. So.
Just a little, but yeah, I'd like to shout out the friends that I went to Talladega with, because I had such a great time down there that I came back here. I'm rejuvenated. I'm happy. I feel probably the best that I have in a while. So, shout out to them.
That's awesome, John. You spent some time at Talladega.
Oh yeah, Talladega is one of my favorite places to be. So, couldn't go this past weekend, but it's always fun.
Mm-hmm. All right, Jordan. Congratulations on your P3 finish, and we'll see you next week.
All right, see you then.
All right, that's your third place finisher, and we now welcome Mr. Travis Bennett to the broadcast booth. Travis, that was close.
Yeah, it was. Jordan definitely had my tail between my legs. I knew he was coming with them new tires.
Well, we had that, and did you have anything? What was your thoughts on trying to track down Alex towards the end?
I honestly didn't. At first, at the beginning of that run, I was catching him like crazy, and as soon as I caught him, he just took off, and I really thought I had something for him until he did that. He's been up there the whole race, man. I knew I probably didn't have anything for him. And,
yeah, we were pretty impressed by his consistency.
Right. Yeah, I never claimed Dover to have to be one of my best tracks, but hey, I started second to last, and I got second. Whatever, man, I'll take it.
Oh yeah, I would definitely have moved that. I would slide that slide over to. This is a great track. Yeah, I mean plus 32 positions. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, needless to say, I need a shower after tonight, man. I'm sweating my butt off after this.
Well, again, congratulations on your P2 finish. Any shout outs tonight?
Man, just shout out to everybody at Full Throttle and pretty much everybody that's racing out there. This league has gotten a lot cleaner. Definitely want to give a shout out to Michael. He's doing a lot for the league, and we definitely appreciate what he does.
Absolutely. All right, there's your second place finisher, Mr. Travis Bennett, and we welcome into the booth tonight's winner, Alex Forget-Berube.
Ben oui, bonjour, hello. Finally.
Bonjour, congratulations.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
So, I'm gonna, if I were to guess, I would say this is Alex's favorite track.
You got that right.
It shows you were consistent. Your line was great.
Yeah, it takes a lot of mental strength to always hit your marks, and this track is very treacherous. One lap I'm okay with turn 2, and then the second lap I'm sliding, and it's very hard it's very easy to lose it, and yeah, it was a hard night.
Well, you couldn't tell by your finish with what we saw, just some fabulous consistency. I think there was, if I had to say, there was a bobble. There was a restart there that looked like maybe you missed a shift or just I'm not sure, or spun the tires. I think it was easy to spin the tires tonight.
Yeah, on the restart, if you had fresh tires, it was okay. But as soon as you had a little bit of tire wear, the restarts were crazy. The first gear was sending the back of the car sideways most of the time, so it was really easy to lose it.
Gotcha.
But yeah, restart, you had to really push it in first and then go straight into second to not lose it. At the end, I was getting better with all the restarts that we had.
Yeah, we were able to ride along with you on one of those last couple of restarts. So, Yeah, congratulations. Your consistency was great. You were definitely Mr. Consistency tonight. Just a great finish.
Yeah, we also call me sometimes Concrete Berube, so we'll have to watch out on those other concrete tracks.
Well, yeah, this is definitely one of your favorites. So, any shout outs tonight?
Yes, sir. I gotta thanks my best friend and my girlfriend. They always support me when I'm down. I had a rough couple of weeks racing and other leagues and in general. So um, they've been very there for me and my teammates too. From performance, they're always there, even if I'm really mad and I feel like I'm annoying. They're always there to support me when it's not going well. So I really have to thank them for supporting me and getting those through hard moments that finally we get through it and we get to victory lane.
There you go. All right, there's tonight's winner, Mr. Alex Forget Berube, finishing up here in the Wurth 200, taking the win for Performance Motorsports. John, any comments as we wrap up tonight?
I just want to give a shout out to Alex on a fantastic race, absolutely dominated, and congrats to him. And next week we are heading to the middle of the country. We're going to go to Kansas for 134 laps around Kansas Speedway in the Advent Health 200. Previous winner Corey Bunch. So can we see Corey Bunch get a win? We'll see. You got to make sure to tune in next week. Same time, same broadcast network. Will be bringing you live action from Kansas next Thursday.
All right, folks, thanks for tuning in tonight, and we'll see you next Wednesday for the Tech for Troops Cup Series, and then, again, as John mentioned, we'll be in Kansas. Have a great night.